Hi there, are you guys ready to do some pressure canning? Beef stock, I have some fresh beef stock that I just made. I already have some quarts of beef stock that I've already put up, so today we're gonna do a little smaller size. I'm gonna do pints because for Billy and I, that's usually like the perfect amount. And I'm also doing some half pints because how many times have you looked at a recipe and it just wants a half a cup or maybe even just a cup of stock. So these sizes are perfect to do. So I'm gonna get my stock on the stove just over low heat. I just want it warm. You can pressure can cold, but today we're gonna do a warm pressure can. It's just my preferred method. I have my lids in here just on very low. I just want them warm. So next, obviously, you're gonna need a pressure canner. I have one specifically that I got that has a bottom that you can use whether you have a glass or induction or gas, and you're gonna have a rack in the bottom because this is what your jars are gonna sit on. You don't want your jars sitting straight on the bottom. Now, unlike water bath canning, we're not gonna fill all of this up with water. So I did end up putting 4 quarts of water in here. I'm gonna go ahead and put my jars in here to warm up as this starts to warm up. And I want everything warm. So I want my stock warm, I want my jars warm, and I want my pressure canner all warm. Now when you're pressure canning, what is really important to know is your elevation. Because your elevation is going to determine what pressure you're going to can this under. Here we're at sea level, so I only need to pressure can at 11. So you can see that 10, I'll just go to the next one over, which will be 11. Another thing is that all canners aren't created equal. There are some canners that you wait till you come up to pressure before you put your weight on. And then there's ones like mine here that I can start with my weight on because it has a pressure release valve here. Read your pressure canner instructions. Another thing that's really great to put into that canning water is some white vinegar, because especially if you have hard water, you're gonna want to put some vinegar in there, maybe like 1/4 cup. So once everything is warm, your jars, your canner, your stock, you're gonna fill your jars and you want to leave an inch headspace. Now on canning jars, this last ring right here, that is an inch. And then you want to clean your rims. Now, if you're canning something that's really sticky, you want to clean that with a little bit of vinegar. But this isn't sticky, so I'm just using a little bit of fresh filtered water to clean them. And then on with our lids. And then when you put your rings on, you just want to put your rings on finger tight. You don't want to tighten this down really tight. So then you're just going to load up your canner. You can see it's nice and warm in there. And for stock, whether it's chicken stock, beef stock, vegetable stock, you do 20 minutes for pints, 25 minutes for quarts. So now you can just do one layer like this. I don't think I can fit all of those in there, so I have this rack so that I can stack them. And if you don't have the rack that you can stack them, you could just do 2 separate batches. Now that we have our canner loaded with our lid, my particular lid, you just push it in and it locks in. So it's locked. I'm going to turn it so you can see it. If you have like the those big ones, the All-Americans, they have like straps that you have to strap. This one, it just locks in here at the handle. Now what we're going to do is we're going to watch for this again because of my elevation. Let's see if I can move that where you can see it. We're going to watch for this to come up to that 11. I am right at 11 pounds of pressure. Now, for me, I know on this stove that I can move this between the 3 and the 6 so that I can maintain that pressure. It's okay to go over that pressure once you start your timing. You just don't want to go under it. Right now that I hit 11, now I can hit my clock to know that I can start. All right, our 20 minutes are up, so I'm going to turn my heat off, and I'm actually going to, because I'm on this glass top, I'm going to move mine off of this. If you're on gas, you can just turn your heat off. And now we're going to let this sit, and we're not going to touch it until this goes all the way back down to 0 pressure. Well, apparently I did not hit record. So once I dropped down to 0, I took my lid off, and I had just moved everything out here. Do you hear them popping? Popping's a good sound. That means you have sealed. I moved mine onto a tray with a flour sack towel. If you're going to leave them on your counter, just put a towel down and let them sit. And we're going to let them sit overnight. We'll come back tomorrow and take their bands off. And the reason I put mine on a tray is because I'm just going to move mine out of the kitchen and into the dining room. So here we go. Now you have your beef stock, and it is shelf stable. We always want to remove your rings. Now, if you can hold it by the lid, then you know it's sealed. And also, you don't want any resistance. You don't want it bouncing up and down. So that's how you'll know that it's sealed. You're going to put a date on it, and then you're going to be ready to go whenever you need beef stock. It's going to be beef stock that you made and chose the ingredients for, and it's going to be in your pantry. No more of that watered down box stuff with ingredients you really don't want. I'll see y'all later. Bye.